This is going to be the best trading video you have ever watched. If you look online and you search for these crazy strategies, you see them and there's hundreds and thousands of them. And they all claim to make you a lot of money and all this stuff. It's super complex. None of it makes any sense, let's be honest. This strategy actually makes sense. I use it every single day. And you can see with this strategy, with one trade, I made $8,000. It's not a lot of money, by the way. There's people out here making way more than me using the exact same strategy. So if I can do it, they can do it, then there's no reason you can't do it either. Now the first thing we'll look at is a quick overview of the trade. What did the trade look like? How did I make 8,000? What did I trade? Blah, blah, blah. This is a stock that I traded. And you can see, as soon as the market opened, I bought, and then I sold literally 5 minutes later. 5, 6, 7 minutes later, I sold all the way on top over here. And I do this almost every single day. So if I can do it, you can do it. Let's begin. I'm gonna explain the strategy, what type of stocks I trade. Let's go. Now, if you guys are in the community, you see that I've made a trade review for this exact trade. I talk in detail about when I entered, when I exited, all that stuff. This is the trade review right over here, so you can see the whole video. So firstly, we have to explain what type of stocks I'm even trading. There's so many stocks in the market. The question you might have is, which one do I trade? Should I trade Apple? Should I trade Nvidia? And one thing you have to consider is Apple and Nvidia, they're such massive companies that the chances of them going up like 10, 20, 30% in a day is almost 0%. We need to be trading stocks that do have the possibility to go from here all the way up till here in a day. Because if that's what they do in a day, we don't need to capture the whole move. We can capture a tiny percentage of that move. If you have a 100% move and you capture just 10% of that, you've made 10%. Imagine compounding your account by making 10% every single day. It's insanely wealthy. So we need to trade stocks that are volatile, that go up a lot and very quickly. And that's exactly what gappers are. You can see the stock chart over here. This is the daily chart. And you can see that this random stock, it was going down, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then one day, randomly, it closed here. And the next day, it opened all the way up over here, right? Now, why did this happen? Why did the stock decide to close over here and the next day open over here? It could be for a bunch of different reasons. Maybe it's because this company, they released some amazing news. And when investors saw that news, they were like, holy shit, let's buy the stock. And then post-market or pre-market, the stock started rallying all the way up. So when the market actually opened, it opened up all the way over here. That is what a gapper is. Gapper is just a stock that opens up higher than it closed yesterday. And again, it can happen for a multitude of different reasons. Because they announce good earnings, because they announce some crazy news. The idea is that the stock is going up, there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of volume, and there's a lot of volatility. And if we can capitalize even a little bit of this massive move, we're gonna make a lot of money. So let's go through the 3 basics of gap trading. One of the main reasons, like I just mentioned, that we want to trade gapping stocks is because we want to trade volatile stocks. Gappers are extremely volatile. Imagine a stock, right? It goes up 100%. So in other words, it doubles overnight. Everybody around the world is going to go crazy to be like, what the hell is this stock? I want to buy it. There's going to be a lot of volatility. A lot of people buying, a lot of people selling. And when you have that, you get an insane amount of volatility and insane moves. Another thing that's very positive about gappers is that we want quick moves. And that's exactly what gappers do. Most of my trades aren't, 3 hours, 4 hours long like some of these people. They're literally 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 minutes. That's it. They're like a couple minutes. So if you live in the US, you can literally wake up, trade for like 10 minutes and then just go on about your day. That's how simple this is. And that relates to the third point, which is we want to be done trading early. And that's exactly what gappers do. If you're trading Forex, I have some friends who trade Forex. Sometimes they're up until like 4 a.m., like 3 a.m., 5 a.m., just like waiting for the exact move to happen so they can put a buy order in. It's terrible. Like I'm done within like 10, 20 minutes of the market opening and I can continue on with my day while they're up until 4 a.m. So this is one of the big benefits of gappers. Now there's 5 keys to success, and these are the 5 steps. This is effectively how the strategy works. This is the easiest strategy that I've ever come across, the most simple. So we're gonna go through each of those steps one by one. Now step 1 is a stock screener. This is super simple. Go to a stock screener and don't overcomplicate this. I get so many emails of people asking me, hey bro, what stock screener do you use? Is this one better or is this one? Bro, they're all the same. Just use any. I use TradingView. That's the one I like to use. And that's literally because it's built into TradingView. That's the only reason, right? Don't overcomplicate this. And when you have the stock screener, you want to sort it by gap percentage. And the minimum gap you need is 20%. Because if a stock's gapping up 5 or 6 or 4%, it's not enough for people to actually care. If it's gapping up more than 20%, say 30, 40, 50, 80%, now people are going to start to care. So the minimum we need is 20%. This is a screener on TradingView. You can see how I set it up. I have the volume, I have the gap. And as long as you can have a screen like this, where you have the ticker over here, you have the gap over here, you're good to go. Don't overcomplicate it. And you can see I've sorted it by gap, and I've done like a minimum of 20%. So these are all the stocks that were gapping up that day, that were gapping up at least 20%. That's all you need. Don't overcomplicate it. This is all you need. Now, step number 2 is to create a watch list, because what we're not going to do is we're not going to just look at all of these stocks and just start buying all these stocks at random. We're going to choose 2, 3, maybe 4 stocks, the less the better, that we think are going to perform the best when market opens. That's why we need to create a watch list. Now, there's a couple of things that can help you create the watch list, right? There's 2 main things. The first thing is you need high volume and a support level. And the second thing is you need a small float. It's very helpful to have a small float. So for example, let's say we have 2 pre-market charts, right? Like let's say we go through all of these gappers one by one and we're analyzing their charts. What do we want to look out for, and what do we want to avoid? This is something you want to completely avoid. This is a loser. I can tell instantly looking at it that when the market opens, it's going to go down. And the reason it's going to go down is because there's literally zero volume. There's no volume. The stock's like teleporting. It's like I threw an ender pearl from here to here and it just teleported. It's like, we don't want this. We need volume. We need volume. So this automatically, we're just not going to keep in the watch list. This one, however, was a winner. This was the exact stock that I traded. And look at how different it is from this. There's a lot of volume. There's higher highs, higher lows. We can see that there's support forming, a lot of volume. Everything about the stock is perfect. We know this is going to go up with a high degree of certainty. And that's how it is. Now, step number 3 is to buy. Once you've identified your watch list, you want to wait for the stock to hit the support level. This is super important. Don't just buy a stock as soon as market opens. That's a guaranteed way to lose money. That's guaranteed, because you don't know where the stock is going to go. You need to wait until it comes near your support level, which we've identified is here, and you want it to confirm the support level. And you do this by waiting for volume. If it hits the support level, no one's buying, well then it's just going to start dipping more and more and more. If it hits the support level and you see a crap ton of volume coming in, meaning people are interested, that's like a huge green flag, like yes, buy. Then you buy, then it goes up. But entering exactly when the market opens is a terrible idea, because at that point you're effectively just gambling. Now, this is the exact time when I bought the stock. You can see that when it opened, you can see the crap ton of volume that it has as well when it opened. And you can see that it hit down to my support level and it started inching back up. And when it started inching back up, that's when I clicked the buy button and it entered right over here. That's how simple it is. There's a lot. We draw a line, we wait for the stock to get near the line, we wait for it to confirm the support, and then we buy. That's how simple it is. No weird indicators, none of this weird stuff. Just a line, we wait for it to get near the line, and then we buy. That's it. That's how simple it is. Now, step 4 is to sell. Now, there's 3 main reasons why I sell, right? I'm not just gonna sell because I feel like it or I think it might not go up. There's 3 main, solid reasons why I would sell. The first is VWAP resistance. Now, if you see this line over here, this purple pink line over here is VWAP. For example, let's say I bought the stock down over here, and let's say I noticed every time it went to VWAP, which is this purple line, let's say it went up till here. Let's just say it found a bunch of resistance. So it went up, went back down. It went up, it went back down. That is a clear telltale sign that VWAP is massive resistance. So the next time it tries going up to VWAP, I'm just gonna sell, right? That's the first option. Second option is pre-market high. So you can see right over here, this is the highest point in all of the pre-market. So the idea would be that if the stock goes up until pre-market high, that's exactly when I sell, right? That's the second option. And the third option is the $0.5 whole dollar resistance. So let's assume that the stock went above VWAP, and let's say it even went above pre-market high. The next point where I would think of selling is the $0.5 whole dollar resistance. So right now the stock's pre-market high is around 380. If it's higher than 380, the next point I'd be looking at to sell will be around $4, because it's a nice clean number. That's the next psychological resistance, right? So those are the 3 reasons why I would sell. And if you're going to take a loss, you have to keep your losses small. Don't be out here with 15, 20, 25% losses, because those are going to wreck your account. That was one of the biggest mistakes I made in the beginning. In the beginning, my losses used to be insane, 20, 25, 15%. It would just decimate my account. My wins would be decent, 10 or 15%, but my losses would be the same. So my account just wasn't growing, it was just stagnated. you need to keep your losses as small as possible and keep a very small stop loss. You do not want your losses to be 20-30%. That's the main thing. Now, this is exactly where I sold. So in this case, I started using rule number 2, pre-market high. So I saw the stock easily went above VWAP. There was no issue. And I was like, you know what? Let's sell at pre-market high around this like 380 level. And that's kind of the level where I sold. And that's where I sold. That's how simple it was. Took 6, 7, 8 minutes. Boom. I'm in and out, up 8 grand. That's how easy it is. Now, step number 5 is to repeat this every single day. You're not going to make money with this if you just do this whenever you feel like it or whenever, you know, you're not tired or whatever. You need to do this every single day. That's how you make your account grow, right? And when you're starting out with this strategy, especially if you're new to this, you shouldn't just do this with real money day number 1. Like, it takes practice, right? So always start with a paper account if you're new to this. The next thing to do is to analyze every single trade. This is what separates like people who never make it in trading and the people who are very successful traders. Successful traders analyze every single one of their trades. It doesn't matter if the trade was 30 seconds long or if it was 2 hours long or if they made money or if they lost money. They're analyzing every single one of their trades, figuring out where they went right, where they went wrong, how they can improve next time. That's what separates the good traders from the bad. So every single time you make a trade, you need to analyze it. And now I'll show you some proof that this not only works for me, but it works for a bunch of other people. So this is my community, the Drako room. Inside you can see people are making wins every day. Dave over here made $362, Pijayaj made $304, Nick made $1,258, Taz made $379, A.FE made $209, OLVR made $1,180, he made $90, he made $1,238. Everyone's making wins almost every single day. When you join the community, you also get access to my watch list section right over here. This is where I do all the work for you. So back when we were at the screener and you saw all those like 10 stocks in the screener, I literally tell you guys the ones that I'm going to be watching. So for example, Wednesday yesterday, I told you guys I'm going to be watching this one, and this one, and I lay out all the support levels for you. So you don't have to do any of the work. You can just copy all the watch list of stocks, watch for it, and if they confirm support, you can buy it. I do all the work for you. You also get all these other sections in the community as well as a free course. And like I mentioned in the video, you also get access to all of my trade reviews. So every time I make a trade, I make a video explaining exactly when I got in, when I got out, how much I made, the good things of the trade, the bad things of the trade. I tell you guys everything, every single one of my trade, all the ones that I made, I make a video for it and I explain everything. So if you guys do want to join the community, click the first link in the description now to join for free. And I am going to be closing the group soon to just focus on the members inside. So if you do want to join, this is kind of your only chance. Click the link in the description to join for free. If you guys want to watch a video where I explain how I made $9,083 day trading, so you can just copy me, click the video that just popped up. It goes through the strategy in a little more detail. It goes through everything you need to know. Click that video. And as always guys, subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.